Welcome to the Victorian PGA Championship here at the magnificent Huntingdale Golf Club. This place oozes prestige from the moment you come through the gates. It's hosted some of the best names in the business. Tiger Woods, Gary Player, Greg Norman, Jack Nicklaus, just to name a few. This week, we're lucky enough to have Victorian PGA champion. Last year, Ash Hall back in the field alongside Marcus Fraser, who represented Australia at the Olympics in Rio last year as well. So the weather's turned it on. It's been a beautiful morning for golf, and we're very thankful to have your company here on PGA TV.
Well, thank you, Alison Whittaker. It really was a very, very good morning to play around a golf, wasn't it?
How good were conditions early on? Barely a breath of wind, beautiful temperature. This is the group of James Hartley, Brodie Martin and Daniel Cromie teeing off earlier today at 7:15. Long shadows being cast over the golf course. It was splendid.
And such a rich history here for golf at Huntingdale.
Well, for me, when I think about Australian golf, I think of Huntingdale, some of the great names we've had playing on this golf course, and these players on screen stitching their own part of history out there this week.
Absolutely. Somebody like Greg Norman, of course, 6 times he won round here at the Australian Masters, made it his own.
Very much so, and Peter Lonard, Peter Thompson as well, Tiger Woods, just massive names out there over the years here on this glorious layout.
And conditions, as you mentioned, are really nice, calm for golf. Let's have a look at some of the early highlights. Let's go out to the 4th hole, and this is Jin Jong as he plays his second into the 4th.
26-year-old from Korea, Jin Jong has a beautiful, fluid golf swing.
Really caught the public's attention when he won the Perth International some years back, and a fine young player.
I think a lot of people were expecting big things out of Jin. He's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit since then, as is the case with a lot of pros when they turn professional in the get-go. You know, some bust out of the gates and others take a little time to warm up.
It's a good hole, this one, the 4th, and Ali all week he'll be taking us through some of the holes, and we'll get a really good up-close and personal look at this Huntingdale course. And Jin Jong is playing with Jake McLeod.
A 22-year-old from Queensland. I call him Jake Man Bun McLeod. He seems to be quite the character. Nice tidy golf swing as well, good compact action.
You like Man Bun over top knot?
I think it's got quite a ring to it. You know, the alliteration on the M's perhaps. That one just sucking back off the green a little bit.
Decent enough putt there for Man Bun McLeod, uphill.
This is Jordan Wilmot playing alongside 2 pros out there. A good player in his own right. It is a Pro-Am format out there in the PGA Championship of Victoria. Very nice shot again, pin high.
Yeah, he'll really benefit from the experience, won't he? And he's a little bit longer off the tee than the pros.
He's quite a tall unit, so definitely using that arc and power to his advantage off the tee.
Well, here's Man Bun McLeod with a birdie putt.
Just a bit of a slider, this one, from right to left. Easy to underread it, as is the case with Jake. It's fun to see so many fresh faces out there in the first event on the calendar in 2017. Q School for the Victorian PGA and Australasian PGA was just a few weeks ago.
Now Jin Jong with his birdie attempt.
Just a hair downhill. Little left to right, if anything.
Close.
Close, but no cigar. Such a tidy player all round, Jin. He spent a lot of time working with Marty Joyce in the past, Victorian-based coach attached to the Victorian Institute of Sport. McLeod here, tapping in for his 4. Troubles there.
No, well, let's move on to hole number 5, the par 3, 193 metres. And our first look at Matthew Guyett.
Came sixth here in this event in 2015, did Matthew. So he's got some form in this tournament. Queenslander, ball's on its way. Well, I dare say that one missed the green.
And here's a familiar face too, a man that's been on the tour for a long time.
He has 49 years of age. Caught up with him during the practice round. Seems to be pretty cruisy about this event. Had a good finish. Lost in a playoff here last year to Ash Hall.
David McKenzie is the man we're referring to, and that looks like it's missed the green. In fact, it has. Here he is in the bunker. Difficult shot this alley.
To say the least, has to really get the... Well, my oh my. Caught a little bit of the bounce there, and par will require something special from Dave McKenzie.
Par will require genius, won't it? That was... he'll be not best pleased with that. Now back to Matt Guyett. That's where he finished. That's his second shot. Oh, very close, almost in.
Beautiful touch. Quite an affable character is Matt. Nice to chat to. Good member of the tour.
Okay, David McKenzie, what do you do?
We know what's required. Nice little tidy action. Looks like it might come up a little short.
Oh, a little short. How about in the hole? Fantastic. What an easy par. Easy game golf, isn't it?
Well, it's not.
No.
It's not how, it's how many, right?
There he is.
That's a par 3 on 5 for McKenzie.
Rock solid. Thanks very much. I'll take 3. Still chatting about it. Matty Guyett's going 2 chips and a par. Great.
Yeah, even got the ball for him. Well, that's 2 very tidy up and downs. Well, an up and down for McKenzie.
Hi, I'm Peter Lunnard from Sydney, Australia, and I hope you are enjoying watching PGA TV.
The 18th hole here at Huntingdale. What more can you say? Really important to keep your nerve about you. It's a tough par 4 to finish. Bunker up on the left-hand side, you don't want to be in there. Trees over on the right. It's so important to hit the fairway and keep your nerve about you. So just hit at the clubhouse and give it a bash. This is the fairway bunker on the left of 18. Now you can see from the lip just how deep this is. If you go in here, it's going to be really hard to get on the green and shoot, but if you manage to stay out of the bunker and out of the trees on the right-hand side and hit the fairway, you're going to have about 150 metres up into the centre of the green, looking back towards the clubhouse. It's such a great finish. The 18th hole here at Huntingdale, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't disappoint. You've got dead area in the front of the green, a valley running through the middle of the green, a hill over on the right-hand side of the green, another valley here. What more could you want from a finishing hole? It's going to lead to a thrilling finish here at the Victorian PGA Championship.
Always good to play the course with Ali Whittaker this week. She'll give us loads of information, and in fact, let's go to hole 18.
This is Stephen Leaney, his second to the long par 4. Wind slightly off the right today, but that one's going to come up short. And that will be a very tricky third up over the valley that separates that front portion of the green that I mentioned earlier.
Oh, and that man there looks like Daniel Popovic.
It does. It's hard to ID him through that long grass, but that one's skipping up. It's going to require 3 shots to hit the green for Daniel.
Yes, we're getting word from the course that he did have some trouble finding his ball there, and that was a very, well, awkward shot for him. Former PGA winner.
Yeah, back in 2012. That's pretty tidy. Uphill putt left to try and save par.
Now, here's the third shot of Stephen Leaney.
Opting to land it on that top section, let it roll down the valley. That is a touch of class. Just skipping out a little bit, but it's going to be a chance at a par save for Stephen. Speaking of which, just a little left to right. Finished third here last year. Well, I think that would have confused us all. It's going to be a drop shot for Stephen Leaney on 18. Nice to play alongside the amateurs out there this afternoon and this morning.
Yes, and let's go back and have a look at hole number 5. This is Tim Hart with his tee shot.
27-year-old, also finished third here last year. Big group of players that finished third, and that is pin high out on the 5th hole.
Yes, and he's playing with Scott Strange. Remember, it's a Pro-Am today as well, isn't it? And tomorrow.
It is. It's so much fun for the amateurs to be able to get close to the action. It's the best way to learn about golf, to be inside those conversations with the player and caddy.
And there's a great example of that. They all get to walk up together, have a chat, talk about life in general and how to do these sorts of things. Chip from close range.
Strange, his second. Well, just short there, but a relatively straightforward putt for par nonetheless. Sloping putt here for Tim Hart. This for birdie. And that one's going to come up short.
Some of the biggest names in golf are coming to Western Australia for the ISPS Handa World Super 6 Perth. World top 10 star Alex Noren and South African Louis Oosthuizen headline a star-studded field in an exciting, fast-paced event. Be at Lake Karrinyup Country Club for 54 holes of traditional stroke play over the first 3 days before the thrilling final round knockout match play. This isn't going to be par for the course.
Gee, really looking forward to that in Perth in a couple of weeks. You're watching PGA TV. Michael O'Brien, Alison Whitaker with you, and here is hole 18. Beautiful hole here, finishing hole at Huntingdale Golf Club.
Leading back to the clubhouse, and what fun we've had watching the finishes on this hole in previous years. This is Peter Lonard, his second. He's also got quite a good record on this golf course.
He certainly has. Been around this course many, many times. How many rounds do you reckon he's played?
It'd have to be in the hundreds, you'd think. He's
For
part
sure.
of the furniture here at Huntingdale.
And there's another familiar figure, Jared Lyle. A wonderful player and a good friend of yours, isn't he?
He is, and what an inspiring player he is. His story, battle with leukemia, has been well published throughout the media, but it doesn't say much about the guy, and I can tell you he is a great one. Lovely character, lives down in Torquay at the moment.
Well, they're keeping an eye on each other, aren't they?
Certainly are. It's a nice casual environment out there on the first 2 days, Pro-Am format.
And here's Lonard now with his birdie attempt.
This one from just down in the valley, little right to left. And if anything's been a weakness in his game over the past decade, you'd have to say it would be his putting. Didn't play here last year in the Victorian PGA Championship.
And Jared's probably got a good read there from Peter.
Didn't really make the most of it, however. He's got 2 young daughters, does Jared, so I know he wants to spend a little bit more time with his family over the next few months. He'll be teeing it up next week at the Victorian Open, but that's going to be it for his schedule in Australia for the next little while at least. Comes from a big golfing family. His brother Leighton, also a good golfer in his own right, from up at Shepparton.
So he taps in for his par. Ruefully has a look at the hole. Shake of the head, and we'll move on.
Just tidying up here for his 4 is Lonard. Great green this 18th. So many slopes and undulations. This is the 17th tee. Now it's right in front of the clubhouse and it's a great hole, a slight dog leg from left to right, 425 metres. So if you're a drawer of the ball, it's important to lay back short of that fairway bunker because that could cause you a little bit of trouble. But if you can set up for a beautiful power fade, you're going to be sitting in position A. This is the landing area on 17 if you've chosen to lay up short of that left fairway bunker. Now it's a compulsory long iron in from here, about a 4 or 5 iron, and we know that could cause a little excitement come Saturday afternoon. But once you get up to the green, just that one bunker over on the right hand side and then a lot of slope around the green yet again in these final stages here at Huntingdale. This right greenside bunker on 17 really is the only danger around the green. Lots of collection areas on the outside, but not too tricky and up and down if you do miss. Now, once you get onto the green, there's tons of subtle slopes. So a lot of ridges just coming into play and a few competing slopes. So important to hit the green, that's your number one. Don't forget, you might have a long iron in. And then number two, try and give yourself the straightest putt at birdie.
Thank you, Alison. That really is a very tough hole. Hole 17 here at Huntingdale.
We've seen a lot of long irons and hybrids into this green.
This is Michael Sim with his second shot.
32-year-old from Western Australia will find the sand, it seems, over on that right-hand side, just the one bunker up by the green.
And there he's playing with Michael Long. And we saw Michael's tee shot right by our commentary position here, and it was right down the middle, but he seems to have found a little bit of trouble here.
I dare say it might have been a bit of an error with the second. The defending Victorian Open champion.
This is his third.
Fancies himself as a bit of a cook. He and I had a cook-off a few years back. It was good fun. Won't say who won it though.
Oh, you can?
I won it.
What was your speciality?
It was I think a fried fish actually. We had to cook the same dish, but it was a nice banter along the way. That was Michael Sim from the front bunker on 17. Managed to carry it a long way back.
Now, here's Michael Long's fourth.
Well, he's making a bit of a mess of the hole, and that's going to be a bogey putt for Michael Long.
Yeah, we can have a look at his bogey putt now. These are the putts that the pros really are so much better than the amateur player when they get into this situation. A must make.
He's 48 years old, so I dare say he's had a few 5-footers in his life. That one drops. Very likeable Kiwi is Michael Long.
And now Michael Sim for par. Just short with his second shot, wasn't he? And now putting himself under pressure.
Has played a lot over in the States, Michael Sim. Has just fallen off a little bit of form for the WA native.
Hi there, I'm Steve Jeffrey from Southport Golf Club on the Gold Coast. You're watching PGA TV.
Certainly are. Thanks, Steve. PGA TV, great initiative by the PGA Tour of Australasia, and we're at hole 18. You're watching Early Morning Highlights. Michael O'Dwyer with you and Alison Whitaker.
This is 21-year-old Jared Felton. Really exciting young player. Love his golf game. Well, the crowd loved it.
Yeah, easily done.
Finished 37th here in this event last year. Just seems to be quite a nice cruisy young fellow. His partner Hannah Green just turned professional in the ALPG, picked up her first 2 wins of the season. Pretty handy. Not a bad way to make birdie on the 18th.
Yeah, the finishing 2 holes here, 17 and 18. So much said about them every time you come here to Huntingdale. Here's Michael Choi. He's second into 18. As we said earlier, they're playing some pretty long irons into this hole.
Well, Michael and his younger sister Claire spent a lot of time playing pennant here at Huntingdale in their amateur years. This is defending champion Ashley Hall, 33-year-old from Victoria. Won in a playoff against David McKenzie last year, having a bit of trouble out here on the golf course this morning.
And Ash, of course, had a pretty good finish to his season last year in Australia.
Yeah, he certainly came down the home stretch strong in those bigger events, the Tier 1 events, towards the end of 2016.
Now that looks like Craig Kelly, a former Collingwood footballer and man into all sorts of media and management capabilities, and that is not a bad shot at all.
How about his golfing capabilities? Not
Very,
too shabby.
very good. Not too shabby at all.
Just fading that one back into the hole.
A real birdie chance.
That'd have to be for a 4-pointer, wouldn't it? This is Michael Choi. Outright in 2. This is his 3rd shot. Not a bad place to miss it over in this back right corner of 17. And that one checking up very nicely. Used to spend a lot of time at the Choi's Korean restaurant. And his parents own a restaurant in Melbourne.
Well, if it's got anything to do with food, you'd be there, that's for sure.
So true.
Par putt now for Ash.
He wasn't expecting it when he won here last year. Said he wasn't in the best bit of form, but walked away with the trophy, and that really kicked off his 2016 season. Work left to do here, however. Had a little bit of trouble off the tee, hit a provisional. Walks away with bogey.
Now, here is the man, Craig Kelly, for birdie, and nails it. That's got to be a 4-pointer, hasn't it?
You would think so. It's done on a net score, the best net score from the player and the amateur. So I think that one might go towards a scorecard there for Craig Kelly.
And on PGA TV.
Tidying up for par is Michael Choi. No troubles there. Has really worked on his fitness since the last time I saw him. He's in great shape.
So many of the golfers now across all formats and forms and tours do so much work, don't they, in the gym? And here is hole 10. And speaking of somebody who's got a great physique, Dimitrios Papadakis.
That is the shot of Dimitrios Papadakis. He's 3rd on the 10th hole from the bunker.
Yeah, it's a par 5, 453 metres, nearly 500 yards. This for birdie.
Just a little bit of right to left movement, and he's canned it. Worth going for the green in 2 is the 10th hole if you can do it.
Got to love that smile. He's such a charismatic player when you look at him. Look at that. Lights the place up. Lights the course up with that smile.
My heart is melting, I'll tell you what.
Not sitting next to me. Hole 8 now, and this is Taylor McDonald. And the 8th hole for him is his 17th.
Young 24-year-old from Queensland. Picked up a win at Q School just a few weeks ago. That's how he punched his ticket here. Incidentally, had a 66 in his first round in this tournament last year as well, so used to getting off to a hot start. Here with Taylor McDonald after his 5-under round of 67 today. What was the strength out there of your game?
It was all round pretty good today. Drove it well off the tee and just played real solid from tee to green.
You had a pretty good first round in this event last year, a 66 I believe, so off to another hot start this year so far. Is there something about this golf course that just suits your eye?
Not really, it's just another golf course and you just play it. And if you play well, you shoot a good score around any place, I guess.
So Brizzy boy, how do you like the Melbourne Sandbelt tracks?
The golf courses are really good, but I'd definitely swap it with the weather.
Fair enough. So in terms of your preparation, you won Q School a couple of weeks back. Obviously you did something right over Christmas. What did you get up to?
I won't say much, but we went camping, fishing off Fraser and just really had a nice break and good time and had a few rounds of golf,
So who are you working with coaching-wise at the moment going into 2017?
I'm working with Tony Meyer, same coach for the last 5 years or so, and he's been really good. We're good mates too, so that helps.
That does. It gets you to open up a little bit to your coach about the mental side of golf as well. In terms of your round today, something happened out on the 4th hole? What went down there?
The 4th hole had a perfect yardage and I really hadn't hit a great wedge shot all day. And so I picked a smaller target and I hit it and landed about 10 feet past and spun back and went in. Yeah.
Pretty handy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was great.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the week, Taylor.
Thank you.
Certainly a great opening round there for Taylor, and why don't we update ourselves with the leaderboard? He's working that mo, isn't he?
He certainly is. It is beautiful. Some brilliant scores out there so far in ideal scoring conditions.
Yeah, you just have a look. Josh Younger up there at the top of the leaderboard at 6 under 66. David McKenzie has him before 4 under.
Brad Schultz also stitching together a very nice round, 300 through 12.
As is Aaron Price as well, a much-travelled journeyman pro that's been all over the place, based in the States for a while.
Winner on the Australasian Tour last year, Michael Long, the Kiwi. Solid first round, round of 70 for him.
Yeah, the names as we go through, Lincoln Tie, the big hitting Lincoln Tie there, always good to watch if you want to come out and see the players here, or alternatively watch us on PGA TV.
The international members as well, David Klein, off to a solid start in the morning round.
Well, we've had great fun so far on the morning highlights. We'll see you a bit later on for this afternoon on PGA TV.